1 Corinthians chapter 7. Now, concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife has not power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise the husband has not power over his own body, but the wife. Defraud you not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that you may give yourself unto fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency. But this I speak by permission, and not of a commandment. For I would that all men were even as myself. But every man has his proper gift of God, one after this manner, another after that. I say therefore, to the unmarried and the widows, it's good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. And unto the married command I, but not yet I, the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband, but if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. But to the rest I speak, not the Lord, if any brother has a wife that believes not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. And the woman which has a husband that believes not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. But if an unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but God has called us to peace. For what do you know, O wife, whether you shall save your husband? Or how knowest you, O man, whether you shall save your wife? But as God has distributed to every man, as the Lord has called every one, so let him walk, and so ordain I in all the churches. Is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any man called in uncircumcision? Let him not be circumcised. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of God. Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Are you called being a servant? You don't have to like it, but if you may be made free, use that rather. For he that is called in the Lord being a servant is the Lord's free man. Likewise, also he that is called being free is Christ's servant. You are bought with a price. Be you not the servants of men. Brethren, let every man wherein he is called, therein abide with God. Now, concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord, yet I give my judgment as one that has obtained mercy of the Lord to be faithful. I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be. Are you bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Are you loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. And if you shall marry, you have not sinned, and if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remains that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they weep not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoiced not, and they that buy as though they possessed not, and they that use this world as not abusing it. For the fashion of this world passes away. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cares for the things that belong to the Lord, that how he may please the Lord. But he that is married cares for the things that are of the world, and how he may please his wife. There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cares for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy in body and in spirit. But she that is married cares for the things of the world, and how she may please her husband. And I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is beautiful, that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction. But if any man behaveth himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will, he sins not, let them marry. Nevertheless, he that stands steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but has power over his own will, and has so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, does well. So then he that gives her in marriage does well, and he that gives her not in marriage does better. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband lives. But if he, her husband, be dead, she is at liberty to marry whom she will, only in the Lord. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment, and I think also that I have the Spirit of God.